In this video, we're going to discuss the distance formula, which comes from the Pythagorean theorem. So the Pythagorean theorem only applies to a right triangle, but if a right triangle has legs A and B and hypotenuse C, then we know that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So suppose we want to find the distance between these 2 points. So we're finding the length of this segment here. So we'll call that D. That's the distance we want. And we'll just label the points. We'll label this one x1, y1. And we'll label this one x2, y2. So then if we make that length D the hypotenuse of a right triangle, then we can find the length of the 2 legs. So this leg, we can get that length using the x values. So if you imagine if that left point was at an x value of 1 and the right point was at an x value of 6, you would just do 6 minus 1 then to find that distance. So that leg is given by x2 minus x1. Similarly, if we want the length of this leg, if the top point was at a y value of 9 and the bottom y value is at a y value of 4, we would just do 9 minus 4. So again, we can get that by subtracting the values. So that leg is given by y2 minus y1. So now if we use our Pythagorean theorem, okay, C is the hypotenuse. Our hypotenuse we call D. And then legs A and B here are given by x2 minus x1 and y2 minus y1. So we can replace A and B with each of those. Now this gives us D squared, so if we just want D, we would take the square root of each side, and of course distance is going to be a positive number, so this is the formula that results. So this is the distance formula for points, for the distance between points x1, y1, and x2, y2. So for example, if we want to find the length of this segment here, say this point is -2, 4, and this point is 5, -1. Alright, so in the first set of parentheses in our formula, it says x2 minus x1. So we're just subtracting the x coordinates there. So the x coordinate of this point is 5, and the x coordinate of the other point is -2. So we're going to have 5 minus -2. And then in the second set of parentheses, we subtract the y values. So -1 minus 4. It doesn't matter which point you call point 1 and which point you call point 2. So we could have done -2 minus 5. Instead of 5 minus -2, we could have done 4 minus -1 in the second set of parentheses as well. So we really have 5 plus 2 there, so that's 7. So 7 squared plus -5 squared. 7 squared is 49. -5 times -5 is positive 25. And so we end up with square root of 74.